everybody to the wedding of Mr. and Mrs. Campbell. We've got a few people, a few words to say, so actually we're going to start off with Debbie's father. Who's also here.
On behalf of Michelle and myself, thank you. We'd like to thank you for coming to help them out. George, celebrate every day. And apart from that, I don't have nothing else to say.
So it's great to be able to celebrate the wedding of George and Debbie today, but as you see by even the photographs in the hall, there's always some people who just unfortunately can't make it to a wedding for whatever reason. So if you'd like to raise your glasses and have a toast to absent friends.
Absent friends.
And that swiftly moves us on to the main man himself, the groom, Mr. George Campbell.
I'd like to, on behalf of my beautiful wife and I'd really like to thank everybody for being here tonight. I'd like to thank Manor House. It's been a wonderful day. I hope everybody's had a good day. I hope you had a good evening as well. And I'd like to make a toast. What? No. I'd like to make a toast to my beautiful wife.
Aww.
I'd also like to make a congratulations to the mothers today and just give out some flyers if that's okay to use.
No, it's not. I must be holding this phone steady because I'm focused. Oh, hello, Daddy. I would need to walk that.
I think that's it. I think I'll pass it back to James now and see what he does. Thanks very much. Thank you.
Thanks, George. You're clearly not getting paid by the hour. So, guess the time for my speech as we roll on through it. So, I best start. Many of you won't actually believe, but the first time I actually met George was through sport. I was actually down at the basketball court in Sonoma. It was a hot summer's day, running up and down the court, hitting rebounds, shooting hoops.
You were
and
not.
George sitting in the corner. Reading a magazine, and well, actually, when I say he was reading, he was actually just looking at the pictures from the magazine. So I thought to myself, well, I know how to look at pictures in the magazine too, so I went up and spoke to George, who along with Eugene, we hung about with for several years. We would see each other so often that we didn't insult each other like it was a compliment, constantly just grinding each other. So if you ever hear us refer to each other with the words of like prick, idiot, dumbass, know that it is only in a term of endearment. Well, most of the time it was. So over the years we spent a lot of time in George's father's house, George Senior, and we spent a lot of time in Evil Betty's house watching the movies. Sorry, some of you probably don't know who Evil Betty is. Evil Betty is George's mother. And there is actually a funny story why we call her Eagle Betty, and it's because...
You're bad, James. That's terrible.
Oh no, there is a reason. There is a reason, and it is actually because she is evil. So anyway, even with all this hanging out with George over the years, I honestly can't think of one interesting thing to say about him. Like we totally wasted our lives. So I thought, why not ask the one other guy that knows George probably as well, if not better than I do. Years ago, Eugene ran away to Australia, but no one knew him better, so I reached out to Eugene, and this may come as a big surprise to George, as George thinks Eugene is still in Australia. But as a matter of fact, Eugene, after travelling all around the world, sent me an email. That bitch is too terrible. He's not going to travel anywhere. Eugene, this is what he thinks about you. He says, George is a little rough around the edges. He can be a little hard to get to know. He has a huge sense of humour, which can be directed at anyone, at any time, with no regard for their feelings or current mental state. He judges people harshly based on what movies they prefer, while he himself loves 1980 horror movies made in a budget of about 2p. If you love something, it's almost a certainty that George will say he hates it. Or maybe he just said to Eugene, yeah. We all know that he's a closet Taylor Swift fan. But you know, with that being said, I think no one here would disagree. George, despite everything else, is an asshole. Don't say that here. That was actually it. Eugene first met George at Lakepool Park. He was hanging out with his friend Johnny, who had Sky, and he could watch wrestling at his place. George and I were pitted against each other in a wrestling match, WWF style. If anybody is under like 20, WWF's what they used to call WWE. Of course, I never thought I could win, as George was always a bit of a big lad. Fat, if you will. Turns out he's a big softie. I WWF squeezed the crap out of him, won, and went on my merry way. Skipped to several years later, high school history class, I think it was. Always tried to include the losers into doing the cool stuff with the cool guys. So I just saw George and thought, maybe he doesn't remember me or the WWF squeeze I gave him. And he's a loser. Maybe I'll have a chat with him and see what he's all about these days. We got talking, and it turned out he was a massive movie buff. But not normal movies like normal humans. Nah. He liked zombie stuff before it was cool, and gore movies, and just really weird stuff. Like, not normal weird, like properly weird. You know the kind of movie that says, plenty of animals were hurt in the making of this film? I pretended to be interested and nodded a lot as he mumbled on. He gave me the phone number of a movie fan club I could check out if I was interested. Naturally, I thought he would follow up on our conversation, so I decided to call the fan club. This was the time before mobile phones were popular, so I asked my dad to make the call. I realised I had met my soulmate, my BFF, my tango. Well, my dad laughed, hung up the phone and said, "Son, that's the gay hotline." Turns out George had remembered the WWF squeeze I gave him after all. I'm so sorry I couldn't make it to your wedding. I wish that I could be there today to celebrate this wonderful occasion. Before I hand you back to James, I just like to say I wish you have an amazing day, a day you always dreamed of. I'll be having an amazing day, 35 degrees on the beach, towards a nice cold beer. Bitches. So that there from Eugene is a bit of an enlightening look into George and his sense of humour. Honestly, he didn't have much of a sense of humour until he met me. And you should probably know if George ever says a funny joke, he stole it with me first. But knowing George before Debbie is a lot different than knowing George after Debbie. George is a changed man. He went from watching films, playing video games, doing stuff with me and Eugene, to watching films, playing video games, and doing stuff with Debbie. Unrecognizable. Truth be told, though, I've never seen George as happy as when he is with Debbie. Debbie is the one thing that makes George complete. And Debbie is such the right person for him. Debbie is caring, friendly, loyal, but don't ever beat her at SingStar. Seriously, trust me with that one, don't ever beat her at that. Together we've done a lot with Debbie and George. Remember the times, Debbie, that we went to the Odyssey and stuff? Particularly, do you remember the time actually that we went to the Odyssey and there was like a diversion? We had to drive like out like 2 streets and around, and Debbie and Claire were actually convinced that we were lost, and they were panicking that we were stranded in Belfast. Yeah. And in fairness, I wouldn't want to be stranded in Belfast either. Remember the time that we went to Pheasants Peak? Remember the time George went to America for a month? No, me neither. I'm happy that George is happy, and it's great to see Debbie as one that makes George happy. It's also great that Debbie came into his life, and I'm really, really happy that now George is somebody to watch really awful, crappy movies with. So, to my friends, I wish for both of you to have what we all wish for in life, and that's 20 years of peace, love, and happiness. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand up, raise a glass. To you, Mr. and Mrs. Campbell.
Here, Donnie.
And I'll be back tomorrow.